The easiest way to come up with a flavor for a pre-workout is to lean into the sours.
Yeah, go take straight caffeine, see how it tastes.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot of fun. And in fact, we've created many flavors. I can't tell you how good it feels for someone to say, I hate the flavor, but I take it anyway because I love the effect. To go along with our new launch of the limited flavor of Watermelon Mist, Steve and I are going to talk about kind of what goes into flavors. I think a lot of people just assume that you just add a flavoring and it flavors it. Mm-hmm. It was actually a lot more. So a little bit of background. I had to earn my seat at the table with Steve. So before coming to Klerpath, I had a small company called Gro Buff, which is not that far off from GroMuscle.
Yeah.
And what I realized in that process was it was incredibly hard to make it even palatable.
To mask the flavor,
because a lot of these sports ingredients they're medicine. Mm-hmm. I mean, in high enough dosing in other countries, they're medicine.
Yeah, go take straight caffeine, see how it tastes.
Yeah, exactly. And so there was a point where I was trying to flavor it myself, and there was more flavor. There was more flavor profile, more flavor product than there was in the actual product. It was doubling the size of the product, and it still wasn't masking it. For the real story, though, is when we finally went to a manufacturer, and the manufacturer has all the connections. Mm-hmm. It took a while to come up with a flavor that was palatable. Like we knew that we had something because people were still willing to buy it.
You eventually
it was
got
nasty. It was horrible.
Yeah, you eventually got like a patent candy company, right, to flavor the original watermelon.
So for those who don't know, there are companies that specialize in flavoring your product. They're called flavor houses.
Yeah.
And my manufacturer came back to me. He's like, we went to 17 different flavor houses, and they said, you're never going to fix this.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was the one that finally did, like we were about ready to give up. Like we just got to sell this nasty tasting.
Yeah.
People love it, but it's just horrible.
Well, you got to get it down to get the effect, and then you're good.
M&M Mars.
Yeah.
M&M Mars, the candy company, they fixed it. And I remember tasting it for the first time and kind of realizing like, this is actually going to happen because it tasted good.
Right.
And so this limited launch.
Well, and describe that flavor. What did the original Gro Buff product taste like?
So the original product was a watermelon lime. That was the name of the flavor.
Yeah.
And what I learned in the process as we've worked on other flavors with the flavor scientists that we have at Pharmatech is the easiest way to come up with a flavor for a pre-workout is to lean into the sour. Yeah. Because there's a lot of ingredients that are just sour. And so you go with a sour flavor.
Or super sweet.
Or
kind of like the grape,
sweet,
because the grape's super sweet.
It's just hard to mask certain flavor profiles. Right. And so the easiest way, the cheapest way, to be honest, is to lean into a sour. Yeah. And so to understand how hard it is to make something as mellow as watermelon, because watermelon is not sour.
Yeah.
To understand how hard it is to do that, you're not going the easy route. You're not leaning into the sour. Your magicians are masking some of these crazy.
Right. And the new
flavor
product,
differences.
the limited time product name is
Watermelon Mist.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of my old consumers. They're the ones that are like, oh, bring back the watermelon.
Yeah, like Tony and Corbin, they missed that. But then when we partnered, we came out with a watermelon.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite as good as the original. And then we had other issues with Amazon.
Yeah.
Because there was an ingredient in there in such a small amount. One of the flavoring profiles.
It was a new sweetener made with bitter orange peel.
Yeah, and people abuse that in Canada for weight loss at high doses. But
you're talking about an ingredient as opposed to a flavor.
Right.
But we're not going to argue with Amazon. It's like, okay, well.
So then we did grape, and because that was our next flavor. It was going to be either watermelon and grape. But then the nice thing about this limited flavor is it gets us closer or back to even better than Gro Buff, your original watermelon. It's really light, refreshing. Would be easy to dry scoop.
Same effects.
Right.
Absolutely no change in how it affects you. But I think, and here's the other awesome thing. People don't realize this, but we have about an 80% repurchase rate. That doesn't happen in the industry. Most people are jumping from product to product for just the flavor, because really that's the only difference.
Right.
And so these people are used to jumping to all these different products based on whatever their flavor was. They're like, wait a minute, I don't want to jump away from this product. Nothing else affects you like this. Yeah, exactly.
I was on your stuff back then, and I was on it, and then I wouldn't see you, or I wouldn't order, or forget, and I'll go buy something else. And then by the time that tub was done, dude, I was like missing GroMuscle so bad.
Yeah.
So
it's honestly, it feels really good. We've got some incredible consumers. We have some incredible friends. Yeah. That's what's cool about this. So the question was, were there any hurdles going into making this new version? I actually wasn't involved in the flavoring of the first version. The manufacturer took it to the flavor houses and then just came back and said, what do you think about this? Yeah. This time, luckily, because Pharmatech it's not just the manufacturer we use, it's one of our family companies. Yeah. And so I actually got to go down there with the flavor scientists, and they kind of helped explain to me what goes into a flavor. Like I didn't really think about this, but in order to make it taste like watermelon, you don't literally take a slice of watermelon, because that's not always, you can't always do that. But if you look at a graph, if flavor is like a graph, if you can hit the high points of that graph, your mind will fill in the gaps.
It's different nodes or something.
Yeah.
Like food nodes or.
And so same thing with masking. If you mask certain points along that graph to bring it there, or the other interesting thing is salt. Salt tends to make a flavor more juicy.
Yeah, it's more enhanced.
It really was. It was a lot of fun. And in fact, we've created many flavors.
Yeah, there's several other good options.
Yeah, exactly.
And the reason we wanted to go back to the original watermelon is because we had to pull that off because we couldn't get it on Amazon. And we put grape in, which was our next flavor.
Yeah, we loved it too, but
now
we're really fight Amazon.
Limited time OG watermelon stock up, and then we'll try some more later on.
But the nice thing is, our flavor scientists, we literally have a cabinet of flavors. It's like a playground for flavor scientists. They're like, what flavor do you want to try? And I'm like,
mojito.
Let's try. Yeah, mojito, or there's an Asian
pina colada,
orange lime.
Well, yeah, what was that?
Yuzu.
Yuzu.
Supposedly that one's really and that one was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to seeing how well this
does.
Isn't
pineapple a big seller? No,
I think so.
Pineapple or pina colada?
Pina colada. Yeah. But so. I think we probably have. There's probably, I would say, a good 6 or 7.
So it's pretty dang safe to say, Joe, if we sell out of this limited stock, we will then begin the steps for the next limited flavor.
Yeah,
because
we're listening to
trying
what
to mix
you're
it
saying.
up.
Yeah,
we're
listening to what you're saying. We want to find out what you like.
Right, and people like different things, because we found with watermelon, some people really loved it and hated it.
Yeah,
and then we went to grape, and they're like, yes. And then the people that loved watermelon hated grape.
Right.
So the nice thing about these limited flavor runs is we can plug a watermelon, a pina colada, whatever, without overextending ourselves and giving people an opportunity to stock up on the flavors they like when it comes around in a cyclical manner. That would be ideal if it works out that way.
You can vote with your feet.
Vote with your order.
If watermelon is what you like, order the watermelon.
Right.
Give us an idea of what you want.
I would get 5 or 6 bags of that. I was telling Tony and Corbin, I'm like, I'm going to get you guys a year worth supply because I know this is your favorite flavor that we,
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yes, please. Right. And then I'm like, maybe by the time you run out, we'll have another couple flavor options. But
seriously, like I can't tell you how good it feels for someone to say, I hate the flavor, but I take it anyway because I love the effect.
I know.
We're going to try and
Thanks for sticking in there
barrier,
through that.
Yeah,
because it will be removed at some point.
Exactly.
We just are a newer company, and we're getting some traction.
Yeah,
and this is a great way we can give back.
Yeah. Originally, that's how it blew up. Some of the like absolute tier 1 guys, like Delta Force.
What were they loving about the product the most?
They love the effects.
Yeah, like what? The thermogenic.
I think that's the first thing that people either love or they hate.
Yeah.
Is that thermogenic flush.
Yeah.
And then what it boils down to is the weird thing that they always say, which I don't know how they bring, but they're like, I feel like I could lift the house off the foundation. Like I hear that over and over, and they don't talk to each other.
Yeah, it's very euphoric.
Yeah, it's euphoric, and you just feel like you can do anything. Mm-hmm. And so,
because it's hitting your mind and body.
Yeah, exactly.
And clearing your blood.
But that's the big thing that most people don't expect. We're not selling a nootropic. Of all the products on the market, where a nootropic is a product that specifically has an effect on the mind. Mm-hmm. It's like that old movie Limitless, where he takes the pill and he uses more of his brain.
Right.
Well, the thing people don't expect, because we don't really explain it, is GroMuscle has a massive nootropic effect where
because there's so many blood vessels in your mind, right?
Yeah.
There's so much blood flow up here.
You're flowing blood and lymph, and you're getting rid of toxins that have been trapped in cells for who knows how long. Yeah. So now everything runs more efficiently. Everything's
it's more
happier.
Smooth.
Yeah. And so it's such a massive effect. You just feel happier.
I know that's why I keep arguing that there's got to be a bigger market for this than just bodybuilders.
Absolutely. Right. Because
I don't say just bodybuilder or people fitness, anyone in the gym, CrossFit, whatever, but like you just explained, it's really healthy for you, and everybody should be on this.
I created it as a way to overcome pain.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's No Pain, No Gain. Right. It resonates really well with people who their body is their moneymaker. And very few people have to grow their body to the portions that they do, and that requires painful effort. It requires pushing yourself beyond where your body wants to stop. Mm-hmm. And so that they immediately resonate with that. They're
and
like,
that's why
that was easier this time.
The military guys were
first responders,
because it helps them get in that state of pushing their body beyond.
Exactly.
Without burnout.
Right. And seriously, like if you think about it, the highest levels of the military, you talk about Hell Week, you are going to be crushed. Yeah. The purpose is to see if your mind can handle the crushing, if you can still work through the pain, if you can still work through the fatigue, if you can still overcome all of the alarm systems in your body that are saying stop.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's largely mental.
Absolutely.
Mostly mental.
Right. And so ironically, you would think it would only be for the meat eaters, but the reality is for those who have severe body dysmorphia, if you're looking at people who are morbidly obese, they have over 100 or 200 pounds of adipose, of fat on them. Yeah. They have such a negative self-image when it comes to body image. It's hard for them to just walk through the door. They're used to being criticized everywhere they go, and now
the gym or whatever.
They're gonna hyper emphasize all of these perfect bodies around them
because they're now trying to work out.
And so, if you can help overcome that mental barrier,
yes,
and you're willing to go through the process and go back day after day after day.
Well, the thing is the product's doing that. Yeah. Because they're getting in a good state feeling in the brain.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, wow, I feel good.
Yeah.
I just did something hard. I mean, you feel that anyway, but it enhances it.
Yeah.
I just did something hard. And now as I'm walking out the door, ideally, they should be saying, I'm going to come back because I'm feeling incredible. And
even though everyone's different, my favorite thing that I've heard from the 4 who have lost over 100 pounds is, you did it. You did it. You lost 100 pounds. My favorite response every single time was, no. I've got 15 more pounds to go.
Yeah.
And the reason I love that is because now they know how to do it.
Yeah.
Now they're not having to be whipped to get into the gym. They're not having to, you know what I mean? They now have the self-esteem that they can do anything. And that's what I realized when I first started using this and I got down to 5% body fat. I felt like I was a priest because I couldn't be alone with someone without them saying, I wish I could do that, but I really like Twinkies or whatever. And I realized everybody has body dysmorphia. Everybody.
Yeah.
And so if you could just experience that one time, if you could have the perfect body you've always wanted, just one time, how powerful is that? You now know you can do it. Yeah. And you're comfortable if you're not at that 5% body fat, because it's like, I can do it again if I want to.
But the thing is like to get to that one-time perfect body, it's not a one-time thing.
It's not.
It's
and
like
there's
Ricky.
No shortcut.
It's like our friend Ricky Lindell says, 1% at a time.
Yeah,
and it's just showing up and being there and doing what you can as much as you can, and going from there and looking at other aspects of your life.
That's
as well.
The exciting thing about the opportunity of being able to interview the experts. Is I just wait for them to, in so many words, say 1% better at this and 1% better at this, and because they all have that same mindset.
Right.
They may not say 1% better, but they say most people are not focusing on their nutrition. They're not focusing on their recovery. They're not focusing on their sleep.
Sorensen was saying that the guys were out partying the night before, like our massive practice, and their bodies are wearing out. Well, he's like, I didn't do that because he didn't have an advantage. He just had to show up.
And that's how he used the example was there's all these genetic freaks. And that's the interesting thing too, is we see these giants, we see these people that literally are genetic freaks. And sometimes they're not the best at what they do.
Right.
I think Kevin Ferris is probably one of the best dream killers out there because he's competing against these guys that are 2 and 3 times his size.
I know.
And beating them.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't want to do this anymore, because they're used to being the biggest guy in the room. They're used to being the strongest person. Yeah. And now this 270-pound guy in the world of 400, 500-pound guys comes in and beats them.
Yeah, they're saying strongman's changing to more CrossFit stylish though. Which would favor Kevin because he's a little lighter and he can move faster.
Yeah. So, the events really are changing.
So,
and I never thought about that, but I was talking to Kevin about that recently.
World record like squats or deadlifts, big guys have the advantage there. Right. But you got to start running around moving your heart.
Yeah.
Like that's a different story, but it's incredible. All of them are, amazing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
all you have to do is lift up or try to pick up a Thomas Inch barbell and then watch this giant walk in and just pick it up like he was picking up a piece of candy off the floor. You're like, I don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
Because we had hundreds of people at a FitCon event. They lined
trying
up.
That.
They all thought they could pick it up.
Yeah. And it was only the strong man that could come and do it.
Because the grip. It was all about the grip. Yeah.
Yeah.
My first experience with it was actually inhaled, and the inhale response lasted a lot longer than the
inhale niacin response.
Yeah. When I was trying to develop it, I had a big bag of niacin, and I don't know what I did, but it puffed up in my face.
Yeah.
And it was a crazy flush, and it lasted for hours. I walked into work afterwards and like, someone got a little bit too much sun. I'm like, you don't even know.
People think you're sunburned, it's when you're flushing. It's funny.
And so,
people have asked me that before.
I think it goes back to the flavor. Different people have different preferences, right? The flush is a strong response. And if it's the first time that you have that flush, think about how many years your cells have had those toxins trapped in those cells. We're talking about bone cells, muscle cells, brain cells, nerve cells.
Yeah.
Every cell in our body has these toxins that are just waiting to be released.
Right.
And so now you have systemically, your whole body dumps those out. The alarm systems go off and the body's like, okay, dump every ounce of histamine we have. We're under attack.
And this
we're going
person
septic.
was saying their clothing was hurting their skin because their burn was so bad.
Well, so in, there's something that we use in first responders called stress inoculation.
Yeah.
You see unnatural things, and whether you believe it or not, some people freak out to the point of they're just fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a freeze response.
Yeah.
If they've never experienced this, think about the first time you got a sunburn.
Yeah.
You probably thought
when
you
you're
were
a kid,
dying.
it was the end of the world.
Right.
You're like,
and
Mom,
yet,
my back's burning off.
Yeah.
And
Now
blistering.
I kind of like a little bit of a red, like maybe not a 2nd degree burn, but like,
yeah.
I know that I'm getting
Your vitamin D.
my vitamin D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start associating other things with that quote unquote burn.
Yeah.
And it's never that severe, but it enhances that sensation.
The first time,
if you're having negative thoughts about it, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm dying, or this is allergic reaction.
If you've never felt it, it's a feeling like you've never felt before.
Exactly.
And it is alarming.
Right.
And it was for me too.
Right. Absolutely.
But after about the 3rd time, you get used to it and you start craving it. And that's really where the product can enhance your workouts.
And that's why it's no secret. I give out my personal phone number. I tell customer service, I'm like, if someone has this response, give him my phone number.
Yeah.
I want to talk to him.
But
and
there's
the reason
nothing
why
life-threatening or anything.
And that's exactly what I tell them. I'm like, hey, I understand that this happened. I want to explain what's going on.
The whole
I just want you to know
of the product, by the way, for you to burn like that.
It's 100% safe.
Maybe someone overdosed if they're smaller and they took a full
there's no way to overdose. It's vitamin B3, and so it's water
what I'm saying
soluble.
is it hits this 100-pound girl harder than it hits a 200-pound man. So maybe her burn's a little more intense than it would be if she took half to start.
Well, yes and no. If you have enough of the NAD to be converted into NADH that causes the toxins to flush out, because sometimes people are like, oh, I'm just going to use half the dose. You can still elicit that response. Mm-hmm. If you're still flushing enough toxins into the bloodstream.
I burn so bad every day. I love it.
Right. I know. Same thing with my wife. I'm like, dear, like, because of your size, you need half the dose.
I got some photos
she
today
keeps taking
at Origin, and I was like, bright red.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Some people are luckier than others. I hate it when I don't flush, and I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.